Welcome to Jen Cares Live Talks, powered by Chozen, the show that brings the community to you Mondays at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Here we engage in tough talks and meaningful conversations featuring guests that help us stay in the know. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to like and follow our page. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to never miss a show. Now, here's your host, Jen Cares.
Well, good evening and welcome to Jen Cares, powered by Chosen Counselors. I am your host, Jen Cares, the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. As always, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, and coming back again. I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to like so that you always know when we're going live. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe so that you can always know when we're going live as well. Again, Jen Cares is back, and we air the second and the fourth Monday of each month. So, friends, life has been life, and a lot has been going on in the world. I have been seeing friends share of lost loved ones, and this Friday commemorates the 21st year of my mom passing. So I think tonight I want us to do a mental health check-in, right? Because life can overwhelm us sometimes. And I am so excited to have our guest tonight. She's a social worker, and tonight we are going to social work, okay? We're going to social work. So help me welcome my friend, Sheena. Let me put the right one. Here we go. Bam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hello.
How
Hi,
are
everyone.
you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us on today. Doing all
Yes,
right,
it's been a
Jashina?
good day. Yes. Yep. Just
Yes,
Shauna.
yes, yes,
Or
yes.
Shauna. Shauna's easier.
Got you.
You know.
I'm gonna keep it right. I got it. Jashina. I wrote me down my notes. I keep my little notebook over here. That's why I look over. So, here at Jen Cares, we always start with quote of the day, and today's quote of the day is, "Oh, I couldn't fast. Okay, bro. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." Leonard Cohen. Again, there is a crack in everything. That's how the
Mhm.
light gets in. What are your thoughts on that quote?
So my thoughts with that, honestly, to me, the light is just giving us some ideas and ways that we can kind of make do of what's going on in our lives.
Mhm. Mhm.
Light goes into dark places, and
Yeah.
anytime it kind of just gives you opportunity. Once you can see even a glimpse of hope, I think a lot of times some of us are in dark places, like you mentioned. People just wanting to move, like everything that's going on with the presidential race, and it's like I need to move to a different country, and I won't lie. I had made a comment too, and I said,
Mhm.
maybe I'll go somewhere else. And I
Uh-huh.
think just having some type of hope and just calling to just bring some awareness to what's going on and how you're feeling,
Mhm.
it
Uh-huh.
is a door
Yeah.
to endless opportunities. So yeah,
Absolutely,
it's a good
absolutely.
quote.
For sure. When I saw that quote, it was a couple I was going back and forth with, and I reached out to somebody. I was like, "What's the best one of these?" And they said this one. And the crack, because I liked it because it said a crack, right? And when you're in something, it's dark, but that crack lets some light come through to let you know that this is temporary. It's going to break. You're going to be able to break out of this soon. Whatever's going on with the politics and things, I don't get into it. I ain't gonna hold you. It's gonna work out. We're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel eventually, and it's gonna work as
Yes.
it should because whoever gets in there gonna do 4 years, right? So
Yep.
after the 4 years
Yep.
we survive it. That's the light at the end of the tunnel to let us know it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out.
That's right.
Please, Lord,
That's
let it
right.
work out.
Yes.
So, as always, friends, I have prepared some questions to guide tonight's topic. But if you have any questions or comments, be sure to drop them down below because tonight we are having a mental health check in. So, first, tell us a little bit. Who are you? How would you describe yourself? What can our friends know about you?
So my name is Jashana. I am from Chester, PA. I'm a
Woo-hoo.
Christian. I uh, met Jen actually at Victory Christian Center, where I first got baptized, rededicated my life, and now I go to a church here in Wilmington called the Resurrection Center. So I always start off with where I'm from and my religious background, because to me God is the center of everything for me. I
Mhm.
pray every day. That's just something that that's really meaningful to me. Um, I believe in the word and I'm grounded in it, and I'm always learning every single day, trying to be better, um,
Mhm.
better for my patients, better for my family, better for myself. So that's my first thing I always start off with. I am a wife. We've been married 5 years. We have two daughters that are 3 and almost 1 next month.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Very proud member.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
what else can I say about myself? I'm very family oriented. I'm the organizer of the family. People call
Mhm.
me when they, hey, Shauna, we want to do this. Can you make it happen?
Yes.
We want to go on a
Yes.
trip. Can you make it happen? So I'm the oldest of both sets of siblings on my mom
Mhm.
and dad's side. So, always being an organizer, I feel like. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm blessed. That's me.
Yes, I like it. And and talking about this mental health piece, an important part is really knowing who you are, right? What makes you you, what helps you to be this best version of you. And you say God is the center, you pray, you want to be better for your patients, better for yourself, your family and things of that sort. And going on a mental health check-in, if we're feeling like we're off kilter in any of those areas that we felt like we were once strong in, it lets us know, hey, I got to do something to get these things back in order. I got to do something to change it up because something ain't working how I thought it would, how I needed to. So I really like that you said that in the introduction because again, that's how we know that we need a checkup. When you go to the doctor, it's like, oh, I'm getting a headache. It's been going on for too long. I need to find out what's going on. It's something, a trigger or
Mhm.
something like say, what, ding, ding, it's a doorbell saying, get this checked out. When it's kind of goes astray from what your norm is. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And also that piece of the things that you find joy in being a part of. You said being a Zeta, you're a proud member. Having things that bring you joy because life is going to life. So finding something that
Mhm.
helps you stay balanced, and I say balance loosely because sometimes it still is not balanced, but it's working out to the best of our
Yes.
benefits to help us to be the best versions of ourselves.
Yes. So one of the things that you mentioned balancing, this might be a little off kilt, but I'm working on getting my clinical license. So I'm a licensed social worker. I've
Okay.
been doing social work since I graduated from Temple in 2011 and Widener
Mm-hmm.
in 2012. I
Mm-hmm.
received my license in social work in 2012, but have never truly gone after my clinical license. So that's one
Mm-hmm.
of the things I'm working on. And in supervision, we always talk about work life balance and just trying to be a better person because we can always improve, right? And working on
Mm-hmm.
self care. And one of the things I was just talking to my husband today about was just that balance. I have a lot going on. I'm working a PRN job where I'm there once a month, and I was
Mm-hmm.
there this weekend, and just trying to find myself in all of that and making sure that I can make the right decision in terms of things that I'm considering, but also still staying encouraged
Mm-hmm.
and just knowing that I have to balance myself. Like if
Yeah.
I'm all
Yeah.
over the place, it's not good for anybody. Nobody that's connected to me is
Mm-hmm.
not going to work. So
Of
um
anybody, yes.
just I've been talking about that in supervision, just like really trying to find that work life balance.
Mhm, mhm. And it's a process. It's the
Yes.
process. But that's too of like being aware that a lot is going on. I had my hand in a lot of different buckets at times, and I work to really highlight self care as needed, taking that pause, whatever that looks like for me, to feel like I'm not overwhelming myself, I'm not overworking myself because if I'm empty, I can't pour into somebody else, right?
That's
Um,
right.
So really being mindful of what is going on, what could wait, what has to be done today, what could wait for tomorrow, what could wait for next week.
Mhm.
I've been procrastinating about taking some stuff to Goodwill, and somebody was like, "Oh, I thought you were supposed to do that before." I said I had more to go. Thank you very much. But I've been working to really get the stuff out because I can't keep bringing stuff in if I'm not getting rid of some stuff. And some stuff you're not even wearing no more. It's just sitting there, right? So it's taking up space. So
Yeah.
even in having a lot going on, like, all right, this is the time, Jennifer. This is the time for you to really get this together, to get this cleaned up, get this cleaned out. And a part of that is really being intentional. We talk about mental health also being intentional. If this is causing us to be frustrated, irritated, agitated, overwhelmed, we have to be
Yes.
intentional about taking that time to cater to the needs that we have.
Yes,
So I like that.
absolutely.
Again, we got to be honest with
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yes. So true.
Look, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. And we're always working to improve. I like that too. Always working to just be the better version of ourselves.
Yes.
Goodness. So you said to your clients and things of that sort, you are in the field of social work. Why did you go into the field of social work?
So my story, I think, is a little unique.
Okay.
In high school, I was in a class called Health Careers. I think it was like Health Careers class or Health Careers Future. And one
Mm-hmm.
of the reasons I joined it was because I knew I loved the healthcare field. I knew it was
Mm-hmm.
just something I enjoyed being in hospitals. When some people, like even my dad, he'll say, "Oh, I hate going to hospitals." I said, "Dad, it's a good place. It's a place to heal you." No, I don't like hospitals. I don't. So I always enjoyed hospitals, so I thought I would go into nursing. Nursing was a big
Okay.
thing in 2007. That's what they were pushing. Go to school for
Mm-hmm.
nursing. I have wonderful nursing friends, but I started at Temple, and it hit me, and I said, "Well, I'm paying for school. There's no way I'm gonna go for something that I truly don't want to do. Like, this is not my passion. Let me continue
Mm-hmm.
to explore a little bit." And the reason I bring up high school is because I researched a little bit about social work in high school, and I had someone who kindly discouraged it. And once I got to college, I kind of had to make my own decisions to say, no, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Naysayers, I know some phenomenal social workers. People have made a great living off of it. So this is what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. One of the reasons that I love social work is because it's very versatile. I'm a very
Mm-hmm.
loving and caring person. I always want to
Mm-hmm.
not so much involve myself in others, but people come to me and they confide in me for a lot of reasons. Even in high school, before I had a degree, I just enjoy helping people. I enjoy seeing people rise to the occasion, meeting their goals, getting to the next steps.
Yeah.
I find satisfaction in seeing people succeed, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just something that's always been me.
Yeah.
As a child, I watched my grandma be that community caregiver. She
Yeah.
cared for everyone. She actually started the soup kitchen, which is now called like I don't know, like dining halls or
Very nice.
shelters that give out food, basically
Mm-hmm.
warm
Mm-hmm.
meals, hot meals. You can go anywhere for like Chozen 300, basically.
Okay.
She started
Okay.
something like that at her local church, and
Nice.
she ran it just off of donations for years. I went
Mm-hmm.
down as a child, 4 and 5 years old, just seeing her give to others. And that's something that I always enjoyed. So it's been instilled in me since a child. Um, and even now, my other grandma, she still is at her church, has a food pantry. So that's just
Um,
something that has always been a thing for my family. We've always been very giving and loving and just wanting to
mhm.
pour into other people. So I think it started from a very young age, and I just have grown to truly love it.
I love it. I love it. Yes, Danielle said we love social workers. We do love social workers. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't
Oh, hey,
know
Danny.
that social workers are around
That's
and
my
what they do.
store.
Go ahead, ladies. I see y'all in
Danielle's
the
a
building.
great that's my line sister. But Danielle's
Uh,
a great social worker too. So we lean on each
yeah,
other.
you have to because you could get burnt out. I went to school for
Mhm.
social work and then I went to school for counseling because I found out the services went hand in hand, connecting with a resource, but also they need somebody to talk to. And
Mhm.
it took me a while before I went into like the DHS core social work world because I was like, oh, I'm too young. I'm gonna have gray hairs. I mean, I had gray hairs already, but I mean, nevertheless, when I finally went into it, I found the appreciation of being able to lean on somebody else because you're trying to help and save the world. And even Superman had to take that cape off. Social workers also have to take that cape off from being
Mhm.
that consistent, persistent person in their lives to help them as they're trying to navigate this thing called life. And
Yes.
though there are manuals, everybody's still unique, so you have to find what works for you. Uh, but social worker, being a social worker is a rewarding field for sure. But definitely, talking
Mhm.
about mental health, you don't want to burn yourself out. So
Mhm.
being able to lean on somebody really helps. Really helps.
Absolutely. That's one thing they teach us very strongly in school, and you had,
Hmm.
probably, I'm sure just being a counselor. Self-care. I am probably not the
Yeah.
100% best person when it comes to self-care, just being in my new role as a mom. But I do take time, and my self-care may not look like other people's self-care, but I do
Hmm.
practice it, and it's important.
Yeah.
That's why I just, I've always worked 2 jobs, right? And
Hmm.
some people will say, "Well, why? Why are you working 2 jobs?" I really just love the field that much, but I
Hmm.
also have never done 2 of the same jobs at the same time with different
Gotcha.
agencies. So I like
Hmm.
to mix it up a lot. But again, yeah, self-care is absolutely important.
Yeah. Yeah. So important. So important. So important. And I like how you said it looks different for different people. I was at a workshop one time and she was like, getting your nails done and getting your hair done is not self-care. I said, "Ooh, it may not be you. But when I go and get my nails done, I feel good. When I go and get my hair done, I mostly get it washed and things like so now start a new journey. But it make me feel good.
Yes,
So you have to
yes,
do this too, doing what brings you joy, even in being social work. And it was like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You have to do what works for you, right?
yes.
And it brings me joy. And then I get so many compliments. My little high school girl, I don't know if you can see her, but she do a little good job. I'm on the wrong
Oh,
way.
they're
She do a little
cute.
good job, she be doing it, so she know
Yes,
what she's doing. And that brings me joy. They're like,
yes.
oh, and I don't want to tell too many people because I can't have her being too booked and I can't go. I share some things, but I'm gonna keep that one to myself, right? But finding what works for you. So if it is going to get your hair done, getting your nails done, going to the restaurant, going to the movies, going to get a massage. I tried float therapy a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago now. It was
Oh,
amazing, floating in the salt
nice.
water. And we live by some salt water in the Black and brown
Yes,
community because it's gonna take away aches and pains, and it's to go away some
yes,
aches and pains. So you really have to find out what works for you. See, thank you, Danielle. Getting your hair done
yes,
is self care. You feel like a brand new
yes,
person. And don't let somebody else be washing it. They get in there real good. Be like, oh
yes.
yeah, come out a brand new woman,
Thank
brand
you.
new man. And
And
guys,
it make you feel good?
it makes you feel
It make
good.
you feel
And
good.
guys are getting like the whole spa treatment too. It makes you feel good. These things are
Yep.
really important for you to take that time to care for you, to care for your skin, to care for your well-being. Thanks,
Yep.
Danielle. I may tell you who I go to. I don't know. You let me know. You let me know. But it's so important for us to engage in self-care. And in talking to mental health, sometimes we're working, and not taking time off. And I've gotten better with this because I had a habit of maybe not always taking my PTO time. And then I'm like, hey, if you don't use this much, you're going to lose it. Now, I'm not trying to give them my time back. And now I got to hustle and bustle to get it. But now I'm trying to like spread it
Mhm.
out because we need those moments. We can't just work. We have to rest. We have to find
Mhm.
time to rest. And I'll take off and not
Mhm.
tell nobody.
Yeah, or a staycation. I've done
Mhm.
staycations before. You don't have to go anywhere. Where you doing on your vacation? Don't worry. I'm
Don't
okay.
worry.
I'm just gonna I'm
Look,
fine.
the bills are paid here. I can just stay here and be
I'm
fine.
taking off.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Whether you're staying home or you're going somewhere, and I do encourage you to go somewhere again. And it's different for everybody. Some people that aren't travelers. I just started doing a little bit more myself, actually. But if it works for you, if it's in your budget,
Mhm.
by all means, don't be going out there to rob Peter to pay Paul, and then you ain't got your stuff together, friends.
Yes.
There are payment plans you can do for trips. So it is possible, but again, find out what works for you.
That's
Find
right.
out what works for you. Okay, so in our officially starting our next segment of this check-in, um, because social workers, are there to help us to you do some social work, you're connecting them with resources, you're trying to help them survive the problems of everyday life. I wanted to go through some challenges that some people may face, and I wanted us to kind of bounce off of each other to offer some support and resources so that we don't become overwhelmed. Some of us are becoming overwhelmed, and I don't want that to happen for us because everybody doesn't have the capacity to bounce back like some. And the first topic that I'm gonna bring up is like financial crisis, right? So we have moved from the tax season where you got your money back, and some of us have spent it, some of us have saved it, some of us don't even know where it went. Okay, been there. Okay, um, and that can cause us to be overwhelmed in life. So I want us to like share some top of the mind resources that come to mind that people can get connected with, and some steps that people can take to reduce the crisis of our
Mhm.
finances.
Absolutely. So one of the things I do want to say, most of my work has been in Delaware County and or Delaware. So a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
resources I may talk about are in these realms, but out when we talk about the different ones, I'll just explain. So like for financial crisis, a lot of times one of the things, not all the time, but every single time, what I do is I just ask the person like, what are you struggling with financially? Because if it's housing, if your rent is late, if you're behind on your utilities, there's
Mm-hmm.
certain resources for that versus you're struggling with affording transportation, or you need help with a lawyer fee, legal fees, because you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
go through court battles and different things of that nature. If you need money because you need to buy clothes, there's clothing, donation agencies and thrift stores and different things that we could offer you that way as well. So I think it really depends on what the financial crisis is about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so assessing is always important. That's one thing, we always do as social workers. A lot of listening to truly understand what the root cause of their financial issue is. Some
Yeah.
people who have mental health challenges, they can't work, so they don't have a way to get money. So, but you still need to live and survive. So, is it
Yeah.
that we need to talk to legal aid to figure out if you can apply for Social Security disability? What
Mm-hmm.
evidence and not resources and support have you already received that have told you that you have this disability and you can't work? So let's look at that. But a lot of times I will refer to like Catholic Charities, Salvation Army, and these they're everywhere. In Delaware they have something called Neighborhood House. They have First State, Community Action Agency. Delaware County has um, it's CAADC, but it's another community action agency of Delaware County. So there's different resources depending on the county. I feel like resources are county specific in Delaware
Mm-hmm.
and PA. Um, so it really depends on what the financial crisis is. But a lot of times there's no one truly just giving out money. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what people look at when they come and talk to me. They say, oh, well, I don't have any money. Well, what do you need money for? Are you looking for a job? Hey, I can give you some employment resources. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think it truly matters in terms of what their issue is.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to get. I said we're going to tag team a little bit. I'm going to go to. She's playing the good cop. I'm playing the bad cop, right? um, I like the part of giving them the resources because at the end of the day, the hope is that we become independent, right? We don't want to be dependent on the supports because sometimes they will run out. So we have to be independent to be able to go to that job, to work to get that job, to keep that job, maintain that job, and
Mhm.
manage our finances good. And I get that some jobs are hiring, some jobs aren't hiring, but I promise you, keep on trying. Somebody will open up a door and say yes. If it's something related to utilities and things, sometimes we really have to ask the questions. They could put you on a payment plan, but us being respectful of the payment plan so that we do what we have to do so we don't lose it, because it's sometimes that we can reach out to loved ones and things of that sort, but after a while they have their responsibilities too, so we want to make sure that we're not getting over on other people, that we're doing our things for ourselves, but that we are being humble and not prideful to be able to ask for the help, right? Because if we need help, we
Right,
want to go ahead and ask
right,
for that
right.
help. Don't have to struggle alone. Somebody is trying to help you. I remember the
Yep.
story of the person drowning. It was like, God, he finally, he died. It was like, God, you didn't save me. I was drowning. He said, I sent somebody on a boat. I sent somebody on a canoe. I sent somebody in a helicopter. You ignored all of those.
Mhm.
And now you're here because I was
Mhm.
trying to help. So being open and receptive to the
Mhm.
help that's coming, but then you doing the work to maintain it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's I think a lot of times people just they don't necessarily get that part that
Mm-hmm.
social workers, we don't necessarily do all of the work for you. We have to empower you. That's one of the
Yeah.
things we will always say we empower you to be able to advocate for yourself after we've done a lot for you as well. We can't make
Mm-hmm.
you do
Mm-hmm.
anything. So I think just
Right.
as social workers, a lot of times that's one of the main reasons why I will always ask, what is your main goal? They
Mm-hmm.
may have referred you to me for, oh, you need to go to a behavioral health counselor. Well, this
Yeah.
person's not going to go to behavioral health counseling if they don't have a house, if they don't have food, if they don't
Mm-hmm.
have, certain basic needs. Like we talk
Yeah.
about Maslow, and you need your basic needs met before you do a lot
Mm-hmm.
of other things. So I think
Absolutely.
it's just to help themselves accomplish, if you want to put it like that.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it. And that same vein, if you're gonna stay on this, I could be the bad cop, you stay the good cop. We're gonna talk about unfair treatment.
Yeah.
Because oh, we quit because they did da 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 da, or we stopped because they did da 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 da. I'm gonna do the
Mhm.
bad cop first, then you be the good cop. Um, People are gonna be people. Some of them are gonna be nice to us. Some of them are not gonna be nice to us, and we have to find a thing of agreeing to disagree, letting them be who they are, and we not lose who we are, and what it is
Mhm.
that we're doing. So unfair treatment, unfortunately, is going to happen. But it's a song that
Mhm.
says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." Let
Mhm.
it make you stronger, so you can keep on going in this thing called life. And that's what I want to say about unfair treatment.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn it over to our social worker that's gonna give you some love. I'm giving you love too. This is tough love here. So come on, give us some soft love.
I honestly do start with that a lot of times. But so I work with the veteran population right now, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our veterans that I talk to are they'll come to me angry about why they didn't get certain services, or why this person got it but I didn't get it. And a lot of times it's just a matter of listening to them. So I'm always going to listen. That's the God gave us two ears and one mouth. So that's one thing I'm always going to do, is just listen and hear what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have something like that, it really again it's case by case scenario. So if it's unfair treatment that deals with DEI issues, okay, can we go to a pro bono lawyer through community action? Did you get put out your house? Did you get fired because unfair issues that truly were problematic? Systemic racism, different things like that. So we can point you in the direction of legal aid. I think Philly, I don't know if Philadelphia has their own, but I know if you just Google legal aid wherever you live at, one will pop up,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go and talk to a pro bono lawyer at the VA. We have something called a Veterans Law Clinic. They get a chance to talk to legal counsel just to ask questions about, what direction they should go in. I always tell people who are at the hospitals, because I also work at a hospital, and if they're having issues with a nurse, or having issues with a doctor or med tech, something, they
Yeah.
can go to a patient advocate. Most
Yeah.
agencies have patient advocates, or someone in HR, but a lot of times they do have patient advocates no matter where you go, what agency you're working on. A grievance representative, you ask for those type of titles in order to try to get your needs met, and your complaints out
Mm-hmm.
there in the air, because it's a if it's we're not here to validate
Mm-hmm.
anything that anyone feels or is disgruntled about. We're just
Yeah.
here to make sure that you have the resources in order to empower yourself to continue to fight your fight. If it's a fight that you need to fight, this is what we're going to give you.
Yes. And Google is your friend. When you go to Google, AI is supporting Google now. But when you go to Google and search, resources will come up. all you have to do is give the people a call and tell them what's going on. And if they can't help you, they point you in the direction of someone that can. I work with a pre-K program, and I
Yeah.
oversee the referral line. And I have families calling and what they want to be connected to a program, but then sometimes they say, I also got this going on, I got that going on. We also offer support in those areas to be able to connect them directly with somebody that can help them. Because it can become overwhelming. All the different things you have to do to stay on top of legal matters, health matters, job matters, life matters. So really utilizing Google for legal aid support. They will answer your questions. Sometimes they have like a frequently asked questions on their website where you can get a little bit of snippets before you find out the meat of what it is that you need. But really reach out. They have some free resources too. They all don't cost. Some of them are free.
Yes. Yes. The 211 line for PA. Just call.
See, friends, you just call. Just call. So another thing that happened, I kind of shared this when I was opening up of how I've been seeing a lot of friends posting of loved ones that have passed. Um, and it becomes overwhelming a little bit because it went from like one a day to like three a day. And like, what is going on? And though we know that we are all living to die, it doesn't mean that when we're rushing it. And when it happens to somebody that we hold dear, it hurts a little bit. And grief is not just the loss of a person; it is also like a loss of a place or a thing. So all of that and all grief. What are some resources and support you would share related to grief for us as we're doing this mental health check-in?
Absolutely. I know just for myself, even I'll share with a lot of people, I've dealt with a lot of difficult losses. Probably in the last like 7 years, it's been really
Mhm,
crazy. To put it like that. So I tell everyone, I'm a helper, but I also receive help. So
mhm.
don't ever feel as though, oh, she's
Yeah,
telling me to go see a counselor, she's telling me to go get therapy, but no, we all need therapy. So
yeah,
the help needs the help. So don't
yes,
ever feel like you're too above,
yes.
water to really be able to get help. I think is nothing to be ashamed of. I always start with that whenever I speak to someone. Please don't be
Mhm,
ashamed to go and get the counseling that you need and deserve. If you ever are feeling suicidal, homicidal, anything of that nature, there's the 988 line that you can call now.
yes.
It'll get you to your nearest crisis center or crisis worker to talk to
Mhm,
someone. It's a 24-hour line. So that's something you always want to use. Use it like 911 for medical emergencies.
mhm,
But for grief specifically, I really truly look at like if someone's coming to my office, I always look at what is your insurance. If you have insurance, then I'm going to direct you based on that insurance. I could direct you to a private counselor. I can direct you to a community provider for people who have like Medicaid, Medicare
mhm,
clients. One agency that I'm really big on supporting is Tailor Made Behavioral Health
mhm,
Solutions.
mhm,
She is a phenomenal social worker, LCSW. Very proud. She's just amazing. But look her up on Facebook, Tailor Made Behavioral Health Solutions. She offers a grief. It's called Grieving with Hope. It's the first Sunday.
mhm,
I think it is. Yeah, the first Sunday of every month, and it's at 7 p.m. So she's really great. Her name is Anitra Taylor. She runs she's the CEO, founder of the entire agency, and she's phenomenal. She's very down to earth, very personal. She had
mhm,
personable. She has even come to different universities to offer grief counseling.
mhm,
She's just been a phenomenal support for anything dealing with grieving and counseling and mental health and advocating for um, even younger students who have behavioral health challenges, mental health challenges. She's a great advocate and she truly believes in helping people with grief. So if you're ever looking for something just as a check-in, you're not
mhm.
necessarily looking to dedicate yourself to therapy or current resources. That's something that you can always do once a month. And
Very
she's
nice.
like again, she's so open and welcoming. It's just I enjoy jumping on every once in a while.
Yes, I like it. Because sometimes we just need that check-in. Um,
Mhm.
because sometimes it can overwhelm us and we don't realize it until like we sit and it's like, oh, I was feeling a little off. Oh, I was a little sad. Oh, that
Yep.
was bothering me a little bit more than what I thought it was. And so to be able to be in a group is beneficial because one, you find out I'm not alone in this thing. Somebody else is going through this too. And you learn
Yeah.
what they're doing to help themselves. And you take from those pieces to find what can help you to be able to get through. So no bad
Yes.
cop on this one. I am all for you getting support for grief because grief is real.
Yes.
In funerals, somebody say, they better not come in here showing off.
Mm,
And when people say that, I say, one, we want to give the person grace because what I find is that when you lose someone, you're grieving. It's a roller coaster. One, you may not
yes.
even fully get through the process of the grief of losing that person, and then years will go by, and then you'll lose somebody else. Sometimes it's days, sometimes it's weeks. I'm not going to hold you, but it'll come around again where you lose someone, and you remember that first person that you lost and how you felt,
Yes.
how you were, feeling like you were just getting over that hump, and then now this has happened, and feel like you even fell 10 steps backwards, right?
Yep.
So in that, your response at this new grief, whether it's a person, place, or thing, can be greater sometimes, it can be smaller sometimes, but whatever it is, being able to reach out to somebody to get support, to talk it out, to process it is so, so, so very important because it can overwhelm you, the feelings, it can make you sad, you could be happy. I mean, it really is a roller coaster. So you're never really
Yes.
sure how you're feeling. I don't know that it gets better. You just get stronger to be able to survive the days that continue to come. And sometimes you don't
Absolutely.
feel strong, hold you. You can
Yes.
feel weak.
Yep.
But definitely
Yep.
reaching out to somebody, going to this grieving with hope, or Googling again, Google is your friend, some workshops that
Mhm.
are in that area. And if you go to one and it doesn't resonate with you, you don't feel good, please go somewhere else. You do not have to
Yep.
stay there, but don't give up because you went because you felt that there was a need. But also know that there's going to be some challenging a little bit. Therapy is going to challenge you just a little bit because it's going to help you
Yep.
to really make some strategic moves. Free therapy is going to challenge you a little bit because you got to process those thoughts and feelings that you're going through. So trust the
Yep.
process. If it's not a good process, go somewhere else. But if you're feeling that same thing there, we running from something. We want to process what's going on, really see what's happening,
Yeah.
because we can't keep running from it either, friends. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
this next one I want to talk about is ageism. We getting older. This snap crackle pop becomes real. You thought it was cereal growing up. It wasn't my favorite cereal, but it is a part of when you get older. Um,
Mhm.
so what are some things that you would say for those that are getting older? Maybe I know some are good with being older. Some are like, oh, I'm just 21. What you talking about? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny because I never truly saw myself working solely in that realm. But what I find is that our baby boomers, and it's all over the we know this, our baby boomers are getting older. And so a
Yeah.
lot of our clients that we're seeing are that 60 and older population. Some
Hmm.
agencies define it, it depends on the agency again. It depends on the county. Some counties
Yes.
define
Yeah.
elder or seniors 60 and older, some say 55 and older, some say 65 and older. But
Mm-hmm.
no matter where you're at, I think it's just a matter of one figuring out, is it because am I seeing them because they're falling a lot? Am I seeing them because now they have no supports? Am I seeing them
Hmm.
because now they can't do their own bathing, dressing, toileting?
Yeah.
What resources are out there to help them with their IADLs, which is things like housekeeping, laundry, cleaning their house, meal prep. Those things are not always covered. They're not covered by regular home health aid services. You have to pay out of pocket for things like that,
Hmm.
unless you have other resources. So a lot of times I start with again assessing what is going on, what resources can we use. One of my
Hmm.
biggest things that I've always found is truly a blessing is a program you anybody can look it up. It's called PACE. So PACE.
Yes.
PACE is just like you're basically helping them. It's wraparound services for elderly, basically. And
Hmm.
it helps them live independently in their home for as long as possible. They have a provider designated just to that team. They have therapy staff, they have social workers, they have counselors, they have chaplains. I was first introduced to PACE working at St. Francis Hospital in Wilmington. And
Okay.
they are now under Mercy. So people in Delaware County use the Mercy Life program. They also have some clients a little farther. Some of them are in Darby, which is parallel to Philly. But there's
Mm-hmm.
different PACE programs throughout the United States that are really starting to take off. I still think they're slowly growing, but I think they're great options for people that are truly trying their best to stay in their home for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The downside of PACE programs is just the simple fact that there's income guidelines to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make too much money, you won't qualify for it because you have to qualify for Medicaid. Um,
Okay.
I talk to people every single day because a lot of my veterans are over income. So I
Mm-hmm.
talk to my veterans about seeing an elder care lawyer. What things can
Mm-hmm.
you do to get long-term Medicaid? Um, Down in Delaware, we have something called a Miller Trust Fund. So it's a
Okay.
way for you to kind of protect your assets, but at the same time be able to apply for Medicaid. They put your
Mm-hmm.
money in a bank basically, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll figure out a way to let the state give you this allowance, but at the end of the day that money does end up going back to the state, but it was a way for you to kind of be able to still
Yeah.
qualify for, a nursing home per se, or just long-term care Medicaid services even in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So long-term Medicaid is a great option if you can find a way to qualify for it. People who are
Gotcha.
truly over income, they have to, unfortunately, it's hard to break it down to a lot of families. I literally talked to two different families today where I
Mm-hmm.
had to tell them, unfortunately, you're going to have to spend down legally. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
thing that you have
Yeah.
to spend down legally, and the Medicaid offices will track your money from the last 5 years. So if you
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, I have five hundred
Right.
thousand dollars in the bank," I'm gonna give my son, uh, I don't know, $450,000, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just a gift. No, no, the Medicaid office will track you down and deny you because you did not legally spend down. Legally spend down can mean anything like finding home health aides and paying out of pocket for that, paying out of pocket for a
Mm-hmm.
nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
My great grandparents, we had to pay out of they had to pay out of pocket for a nursing home for 6 months
Mm-hmm.
before they were able to qualify for Medicaid. So it's different. I think it really depends on what the issue is in
Mm-hmm.
terms of ageism, but I think a lot of seniors are struggling with just trying to live comfortably for as long as they can in their own homes and just get supports. And the services are slim, but
I'm glad that you said that because I've heard for some that want home health aides, they had to like put their house up and things of that sort, and it's disheartening because like they worked hard for their house,
yes.
and they may have their aid for the rest of their lives, and then they lose the home and doesn't stay in the family anymore. So like you said, I like that there's a legal option where you can, hopefully with a house you can give it to your children and things of
Hmm.
that sort, and that's considered legal, hopefully. Um, but the money of spending down. Because sometimes you feel like, oh, I'd rather not. But being able to find somebody that can support you with those daily living activities is really good. But that's good to know. Friends, you want to be able to spend the money down legally to find out what legally means so that you don't have, especially if they're going back 5 years, because you think you're doing good and then you find out you're not, and then it did you more damage than good. And then we're hoping that who we gave it to was responsible with it to not
Hmm.
blow it as soon as they got it. Like, what? 450? I'm here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Talk to an elder
Digging.
care lawyer.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
again, that's another one. Talking to some lawyers, getting some counsel from somebody that is knowledgeable in their area. Because sometimes we'll go to cousin Sam, cousin Sue, and cousin Sue don't know what they're saying, but Uncle Sam will get out their money when he want his money. So we want to be able to
Yeah.
have that conversation with people that are well versed in these areas, so that they can lead us right and not lead us astray.
Yes.
Speaking of that, my next one is lack of direction. Sometimes we could just feel like we're just lost in the world. What are some supports you would say for somebody in that situation?
So I when I looked at that one, I felt that might be the hardest one to truly dive into because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of times that can only be accomplished if you truly engage in some therapy. engage
Mm-hmm.
into some counseling. They
Mm-hmm.
always say, "Oh, do a Myers-Briggs test." That's like a personality test to kind of determine,
Mm-hmm.
even career-wise, what you may want to do with your career. But there's
Yeah.
other things that we lack direction in. It's not just career-based. So in order
Mm-hmm.
to truly get to the root cause of what's going on with ourselves internally, you have to
Ooh.
engage in therapy and be okay with engaging in therapy and be okay with, like Jen said, the difficult conversations, because therapy is not always pretty. You're going to get called out on some things, and don't you can go home mad at your therapist, but come back next week or come back, 2 weeks, whenever you do again for
From that.
therapy, you come back and keep
Yes.
fighting and working on it, because you truly have to do some soul searching within
Yeah.
therapy and be truly honest with yourself. So honestly, I say when you're really trying to find direction, one of my things I pray. I'm always praying for clarity. I'm always praying for direction. And just when I feel like I'm just chaotic, I ask for that. But I also do not shy away from talking to my therapist about it. Come on, what is going on with me? Why can't I figure this out? Because there's other things that we may not realize. It's other things that we may not even want to own up to ourselves, and be truthful with ourselves. So talking it out to other people is truly one of the best things that you could do. I Yeah, I just, and then just encouraging and keeping them empowered to make that next step with finding a therapist. It's hard. The therapy wait lists
Mm-hmm.
are long, but just keep being persistent with it.
Keep being persistent with it. Uh, it's funny. I was thinking of Whitley Gilbert. I love A Different World. I watched it a gazillion times. And she went to therapy to see Dr. Langhorn. And she was first going because she was having challenges because she's wanted to be with Dwayne, but here comes Julian back, like, what's going on? And ironically, when she got to the session, she started talking about when she was younger. So sometimes you think you're going for one thing, and you find out it's some other things that's causing us to feel where we are. Embrace that, friends.
Yep.
Embrace that. It's like, you
Yep.
go to the doctor because you got a headache and they're like, oh, it's something a little deeper. And you find out what the deeper is and can really process and work on whatever that is. So embrace and not being what the surface is. You got to go a little deeper to find out what's really happening. And as onions, we too have many layers. And we
Hmm.
just been covering it up and 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 covering it up. And we want to be
Yeah.
able to expose what that is that's going on so that we can effectively heal from those things that have caused us to be sad, unsure, uh,
Yes.
even in being happy
Child.
too. Find out what it is that brings us that joy and happiness. What can we continue to do that? Let me talk about this for a second too, because as I said it, I thought of stuff that we do to self-care and self-medicate. I'm not telling us to do those things, friends, because that's still only temporal, right? If you don't have the
Mhm.
money for the alcohol, now you're robbing. We don't want that happening. If you don't got the money for that medication or whatever it is you're doing, you got to rob. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to get locked up.
Mhm.
I can't bail you out. I'm going to say a prayer for you. Um, so making sure that we are being mindful of what it is that we're doing to pacify and bandage stuff, instead of pouring alcohol on it to clean it up, that peroxide to really clean it up and find out what's going on, get the pieces out that need to be out, and letting it air dry and things like that sort. So friends, being open to the process, trusting the process. It does get uncomfortable sometimes, but I promise if you stick to it, it will work out for your benefit. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I get on my soapbox sometimes. Sometimes not always the bad guy.
Yes.
So this is what I want to talk about. And I don't know that my family watches this, but if they do, yeah, y'all do.
Oh my gosh. My internet went out.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
This okay. This piece of supporting a family member.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
So
in supporting oh,
my
no worries.
internet
I
had
think it
went
was
out
over
for a
here.
little
Look,
bit.
I
Sorry.
don't know what's happening. I don't like it. We're doing a mental health check-in, internet. I need you to work, internet, because we're trying to help somebody, internet. um, but this next one I want to talk about is supporting family. And I went to this meeting on this weekend, and one of the people was talking about how their family needed some money, and they gave them the money, and it's like they always want money. And I joke about my godson. I love him, but he's a smooth criminal. I tell you, he'll reach out. How you know my favorite guy, Mom?
Uh,
What do you want? That I know he wants something, and we want to support people. But does that support always have to be in money? What are some other ways we can support the family that are always knocking on our
yes.
door?
Always counting the pockets. So I
Always.
would say I am horrible with this, and I will own up to this. I am horrible because I have a lot of people who call on me for like they don't yeah, they call on me for funds, and I say, I got 2 kids, I'm working 2 jobs, I can't always give you money. So some of the things that is just me personal, right? Some of the things that I will ask is, what do you need the money for?
Mhm.
Because I have a resource for whatever you're about to ask for money for.
I love it. Give me
Unless
some of these
uh,
resources, sis.
unless it's
'Cause they get
gas.
me.
Unless it's gas, I don't know what to tell you. But things in Delaware, like they have Delaware is interesting. So they have something called like a reduced fare card if you're
Uh-huh.
looking for transportation. So if you have any type of mental health, behavioral health, physical ailments, anything like that, you can apply for something to get a reduced fare card where you only pay 80 cents per ride on the bus.
Mm,
So they have like it's different programs under different transportation companies. But I say all that to say that it's usually some type of way for us to
mhm.
give other resources. One of the things I'll even bring up my husband, who's also a social worker, and
Okay.
he is truly he's taught me a lot about boundaries with people.
Mhm,
Because I think that's one of the things I'm in. I brought it. I haven't read it yet, but it's called setting boundaries and find peace, finding peace, something set boundaries, find peace. I think that's the name of the book.
mhm,
So
mhm,
in that, I have to read it, but one of the things he mentioned was actually in the advertisement for this book, and he says no. He says no, and he said, I'm sorry, but I just can't. So we have to find peace in knowing that we are allowed to say no sometimes when you have
mhm.
family members that are asking for funds all of the time. One of the things that I would say
Easy is that though?
is not. That's why I said I'm not good at it. So he
Yeah.
he will ask like, "What do you need the money for?"
Okay.
If it's something, in terms of, "Oh, I need money for my rent." Well, here's an agency that can help you. Here's Catholic Services. Here's Community Action Agency. They
Mhm,
can help
mhm,
you if you're behind in your rent. But a lot of times people don't want that, especially when it's family. They don't want to do the work because they think
mhm,
that you're a family member. So why wouldn't you be able to give me some resource, give me money to fix my problem right away? Um, you have nice things, so why can't you share a little? And it's
mhm,
not
mhm.
always about that because some people I'll say, oh, you don't check in on me at all. You don't even say hi. How are you doing? But then you ask for money. So that's always all the way off topic. But anywho,
But on
it's on
topic.
topic. It's on topic,
Yep,
but
yep.
I won't go there with them. But yeah, it's just really like feeling comfortable asking like, what do you truly need? I had another family member who asked me to help a family member of his who
Mhm,
has some mental health challenges. They're reentry, so they just got out of prison not too long ago. It's still a work in progress. And I can say that I've sat down, I helped this person do a Medicaid application to try to
mhm,
get insurance because one of the things he wants to receive Social Security disability for his mental health challenge. So I sat down and I told him, hey, these are the steps. We need to do
yeah,
your Medicaid application because you need to see a counselor because we need evidence that you have this mental health issue or concern. So let's get some of those records on the book because you haven't seen a therapist in ever. Like, but you say you
mhm,
have this issue, so let's address it. But
mhm.
doing that part is where we're stuck at because
Yeah.
this person has not gone to like Crozier Community Hospital was a thing in the past. They closed down community hospital, but Crozier still offers their walk-in clinic. And so they have a walk-in clinic in Chester where you can go to try to do an intake in order to get I think my thing froze again. But in order to get a therapist. And from there
Mm.
they basically did it go away still?
It's so
But
disrespectful. I don't like
but
how
they're
he's treating me. I don't never had these
but
problems, but today, because I want to talk about mental health, and it's a real issue with us people.
But yeah, so Crozier, Marikey, there is another one that's in Delaware County, but they have a very really long wait list. But Crozier is one of the places that you can do a walk-in throughout the week in order to try to get a counselor assigned, and you don't have to have insurance. They do ask you to start applying for insurance, but it's a
Mhm.
way to at least get you in the door.
I
And
like it.
once you get insurance, it's a no-brainer, that
Mhm.
it's multiple places that you can go to or at least get on the wait list to start that process.
I like it. And friends, that just means that you're making that phone call and you're trying to reach out. You'd be surprised. To those that are thinking, should I go into therapy? Yes, because we need more therapists. We need more social workers. Please go on out there and get what you need so that you can do the services, because this is
Mhm.
a good field and it's a needed field. I tell people all the time, you're going to a barber, you always need a barber. I know it's a gazillion of them, but is there one to do you right? So you want to find them. You always need a mechanic. You always need a doctor. So
Yeah.
this is another field that's really important, and it's sometimes quietly kept that we need more people in the field. So if you're thinking of it, go ahead and do it. And come on
Yes.
over. Now, Dr. Miller, can I borrow this and put this on a shirt somewhere? Saying no is therapeutic. Dr. Miller,
Yes.
I feel like I should put that on a shirt. That's good. Saying no is therapeutic.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
sometimes even though you do have it, you don't always have it. Or you have something that then comes up and you're like, dang, I wish I didn't get it. Or so again, you're trying to teach them to be independent as well, because
Mhm.
just because your family I did that one time don't mean I can do it every time. You know,
Yes.
eventually I
And
had to
not
say no.
Yep, and not even with money. Saying
Yes.
no is therapeutic when you just need some time to yourself. No,
Mhm.
I'm not coming up to the barbecue today. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I need to stay home. I need to do
Yes.
my laundry. I need to just be by myself. And I don't have to give you an explanation. No, I'm sorry. I'm not coming.
I don't have to give you explanation. Somebody was telling me they told somebody no because blah blah blah. I said you ain't have to some other party. You say no
No.
because
Yep.
you said blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, I can help you. Or da, da, da. No, 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 no. I said no. I can't.
Yep. Yep.
Not today.
And and don't feel guilty for your no.
Don't feel guilty for because that can happen too. Because you're like, oh, maybe I should have helped them. What if they get da 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 da? Da? That's a grown person too. They have to figure out their
Yeah.
ways too. And
Yep.
there's sometimes that I said no, and it came back around where the person was taken care of and good. Sometimes better than good. So all right, friends, y'all see, Dr. Miller said I could use that. So when y'all see this shirt come out that say no, it's therapeutic next month, next week, or sometime, actually, you know what? I might put your name on it, Dr. Miller. You did say it. You did say it. So I'll probably put saying we'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
Yeah.
Being able to have that together, because people mean well and they want to help. But again, you can't be the go-to person every time, because if
Mhm.
nobody's replenishing what you got, you about to be empty. And then when they doing good,
Yep. Yep.
they don't know you and they can't
Yep.
help you. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's a big
Preach.
one. Support family, support family. Let me see. Let's talk about regrets, right? Because us failing to do something or not doing something that we wanted to do can cause us to have regrets, and that can mess up with our mental health. Of I should have took
Mhm.
that job. I should have let him go. I should have let her go. I should have kept him. I should have kept her. I should not have taken this job. I should, should, could have, would have, all of those. What
Mhm.
are some, and this might be a therapy one too, huh? But what are
Yes, it
some
is.
thoughts that come to mind as it relates to regrets?
You know it. Because one of the things that I was even thinking in my head, you have to learn how to train your mind to turn
Mm-hmm.
those regrets into positives, turn
Mm-hmm.
those regrets into some like you said, the light that shines through the crack. You have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that, and I'm gonna get preachy on you, but God doesn't bring you to a certain situation for nothing. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lesson in every single decision that we make. So you can't truly just sit there and say, oh, this was a totally bad situation. But guess what? You have to also bring out some of the positives in that. You
Mm-hmm.
may be at that horrible job, but guess what? I learned how to fight through fire
Yeah.
almost on how,
Yeah.
and you gain some skills on the way out. Even if you
Yes.
you may not be there anymore, but you certainly gain some skills and some knowledge behind all of the things that you dealt with. So I think it's just knowing that yes, it may not have been the best situation. Even some people say, "Oh, I regret it being
Yeah.
in this domestic violence situation." What positives can you bring out of a domestic violence
Mm-hmm.
situation? You can always understand that you made it out. You know,
Yeah.
yes, you may be regretful for being in that situation, but at the same time, know that you sorry, know that you also have um gained a skill in the
Mm-hmm.
midst of all of that. You've learned how to stand your ground. You've learned how to
Yeah.
seek help. You've learned, even if you had to use a transitional shelter to get away, you've been
Mm-hmm.
able to navigate life through some of the
Yes.
most challenging and difficult days. So
Yes. Yeah.
I always talk about it, just positive. Um, I'm not gonna say positive reinforcements, but just finding the positives out of every
Mm-hmm.
situation, out of
Mm-hmm.
every negative thing that you've dealt with in your life. Um, we can't. One of the things my husband said, this is my go-to. That's what I say is my rock. But he will always say, "Well, we can't focus on what we should have did. We can't focus on what happened yesterday. We can't focus on what we could have did or what
Yeah.
would have went right. What we have to focus on is the here and now.
Yeah.
Staying present is also a very therapeutic um, skill that we learn as therapists and social workers. Staying in the present, bringing that person back to centering. You have to center yourself back in that present state of mind. Where are you at right now? You are here. This is, Monday, July 22nd. It's not 2014. It's not, 4th of July
Mm-hmm.
2014.
Mm-hmm.
You are here. What are
Yeah.
we going to do now to change what already
Mm-hmm.
happened in the past?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to move forward, right? We are on the second half of this year.
Yep.
And life is going to happen. There's some things that we said we were going to do January 1st. Shucks, we said it December 31st because 2024 about to be my year and 2024 is here and almost gone. And it's like, I forgot, or this just happened and I didn't do it. There's still
Yep.
time left. You still
Yep.
have opportunity to at least try. You could try it, and if it doesn't work out, you know that you at least tried it, and you move forward with it. But what's the worst that could
Yes.
happen? It might work out and be amazing. I am
Yep.
learning to seize the day. We have a podcast on Thursdays, and it's blended fab talking about families, attitudes, and beliefs. And the one of the guests was sharing how she tries to be hot. She wants to be honest, open, and transparent. And I've been taking it into different areas of my life, to be honest, open and transparent. Either it will work or it won't work, but at least I know I gave my all so that I'll have no
Mhm.
regrets at the end of the day that I wasn't honest, that I
Yep.
wasn't open to whatever possibilities it could have been, and that I wasn't transparent to say it is what it is. And though it does get hot doing that, there's
Yes.
benefits in that. So, friends, being honest with yourself, be open with yourself, be transparent with yourself. Either you can do it or you can't do it. And if you can't do it, because there are some things we can't do because it's not in our lane to do it. I know we say don't say can't. There are some things that ain't for us. We supposed to pay somebody else to do it or find somebody else to do it,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
But those things that we can do, those are the things we want to do. And if we can't, not beating ourselves up, finding somebody else that can do it, and then paying them,
Mhm.
going on with our lives. Because there's some things I don't know how to do. And I'm not
Yep.
gonna stress myself. When I bought my house, I tried cutting my grass one time. Mm-mm. I wasn't about that life. Though I was able to do it. I was wore out, sweating, sneezing, eyes. It was just a mess. I had to find
Yeah.
somebody else. I had to pay somebody. And sometimes we want to pay for peace. There's some things we can do. Shoveling the snow, it ain't no kids around here. I do it. But I actually like shoveling the snow better than I did cutting that grass. Um,
Yes.
those things you can do it and do it well. Those things you can do, find somebody else to help you because you don't have to do it alone.
Yes. That's right. It's a community out here, y'all.
A
It's
community.
something for everyone.
Now,
Everything.
I ain't gonna hold
Care
you. I do think
care.com. That's one of the other places, sorry. I
I
just
love
throw it
it.
I have a square moment where I'm like, let me throw that resource out there.
No,
Care.com.
it
You can find anything
care.com
on there.
provides anything, whatever it is that you need. And again, Google, you'd be surprised what you find on Google.
Yeah.
What you think is not possible, somebody is out there doing it. So go ahead and grab hold to that resource. This was good. What's
Yes.
something that you want to leave with us? So, what are some words of wisdom? We may have talked about it, may not have talked about it, but words of encouragement that you want to leave with our friends. Um,
Um I would say this is kind of just social worky though. I just want everyone to have an advance directive, y'all. Like if you don't know what an advance directive is basically a living will, a medical power of attorney almost. It gives you a chance to list things that you would want done. First of all, it lets you list who you would want to make medical decisions for you in the event of a life threatening illness, and then two, and Jen, tell me if I need to repeat myself.
Now I promise you, I pay RCN.
And
Run that back what you were saying, because we're gonna let them hear what you're saying and help encourage them to head out.
that's okay. Yeah. So advanced directives, it basically it's a document and it gives you. I've been trying to get my family to do it. Some of y'all are watching. We need to get it done. It basically gives you a chance to list who you will want to make decisions for you in the event of a life-threatening illness. A lot of times we have family members that bicker and argue and go back and forth and fuss and fight when because there's no documentation in place as to who you would want to make those decisions for you in the event that you couldn't. And then two, it gives you a chance to list things you would want done and not want done. It gives you a chance to say, hey, yeah, I will take a trach or be in bed for the rest of my life on a ventilator machine, or I want dialysis. Yeah, put me on dialysis if I can't make decisions for myself anymore. Or no, I don't want those things. It gives you a chance to just give your family some type of guidance. It makes the aging process that we talked about earlier today, it makes the aging process a lot easier because families don't feel obligated or guilty to make certain decisions. And I think a lot of times we do the documents thinking, oh, that's postmortem, that's bringing death upon me. No, it's literally just giving a guideline to your family on things that you want done and not want done. So I advocate for advanced directives all of the time. You can find them at your doctor's office, your mental health provider. You can find them on even your state website.
Yeah.
They have blank advanced directives. You don't need them notarized. Just make sure you don't have your healthcare proxy sign as your witness. Um, and just please look into it.
So good, so important. It's funny. My god sister has been my person. If anything happens, she's supposed to handle it. And I was having a conversation with somebody else. They was like, "But what if it's happened? Yep, it's still her. But if it, yep,
Yeah,
it's still her to make that decision. It's still her. It didn't
yeah,
change. It's still her. Because I trust her with my life. I know she's going to handle the things how I wanted to be handled. So it's really important for you to identify the person that can handle your affairs, who you trust to be able to handle things appropriately.
yeah.
So
And
friends, go get a directive.
yeah, go get it, y'all. And also just follow your dreams.
Mm,
Don't let somebody with a big influence in your life continue to discourage you from something that you truly want to do, something that's wholeheartedly inside of you. Um, just for me, like I said in the beginning of my story, with what if I didn't go through with being a social worker? How happy would I been in my nursing career?
mm,
Um, yeah, I know of a lot of happy nurses, but still, I find true joy in doing social work. And I love
mhm,
that it's so versatile. The social work field is so versatile. You can go from being a court appointed advocate to a hospital social worker to a hospice social worker to working at a university school social work. We can do anything in the
mhm.
prisons. It's so versatile, and I think that's the one thing that I love. That's one of the things I love about social work.
Yeah.
But don't let anybody discourage you. Continue to follow your dreams.
Continue to follow your dreams. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for sharing your insight. Friends, she shares some resources in Delaware County, but again, they're in Philadelphia County. They're in whatever county you're in, I promise. You can find a resource if you ask the questions. And
Yes.
call the local agencies. There are a lot of agencies that are geared towards specifics, and then there's some that are geared towards a whole slew of things that they can
Hmm.
help you with. But guess what? All you got to do is pick up that phone and call, and they will support you and assist you.
Yeah.
Ah,
Bertha.com is good for your resources too. Just Aunt Bertha with a B, Bertha.com. Try that. Thank you
friend.
so much, Jen. I appreciate this. This was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate you for coming on and sharing some resources, because that's what we're all about, really bringing a community to the community so that you know that you don't have to do this alone. There is somebody out there that is waiting to help you. It's a lot of, they say it's a lot of lost money in the graveyard, but there's also some lost money on the streets because programs
Hmm.
get funded to do these things. And if nobody's coming to them,
Yep.
they can't use
Yep.
that money. For this
Absolutely.
resource for first time home buyers. I didn't qualify when I bought my house, but nevertheless, there's some for you. If you want to buy a house, reach out to them. They can help you and support you. So friends,
Hmm.
go ahead and Google and see what they're doing. They're gonna help you out.
Yep. Yep.
They're gonna help you out. But I thank you again. May you have a great
Yes.
evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh,
All right.
friends. I do hope that you enjoyed on tonight. We had Jashina, and I'm so grateful and excited for all that she has shared. It was really, really good. Don't forget our quote of the day. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in, and that's by Leonard Cohen. Again, there's a crack in everything. That's how light gets in. Again, Jen Cares comes to you every second and fourth Monday. So be sure to tune in on the second and fourth Monday. We're hoping to come back next month with some great people. If you would like to be a guest, be sure to comment below, Jen, and I'll reach out to you because we're always looking for new people to share some amazing things with the community. So if you would like to be a guest to share a resource with the community, let me know by commenting, Jen, or just sending me a message. We also have our Blended Fad podcast where we talk all things relationships. And if you want to be a guest on there, we are now recording season 3. Be sure to comment below Blend. We are so excited for all that's going on with Blended Fad. Friends, I do appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. I hope that this mental health check-in was good for you. If you feel like you need more, guess what? Go ahead and Google and find somebody to go talk to, friend, because it's really important for us to talk to somebody to get those things off our chest, off our mind, off our heart, and just make some sense of it, because sometimes it can overwhelm us, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I do thank you again for tuning in. I love you all for real. Until next time, good night.
Hey, Chosen friends. Thanks for joining Jen Cares this week. Special thanks to our guests. Such a good conversation. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you found value in this show, we'd appreciate you sharing it with a friend and dropping a comment below. Until next time.